Locked in, Honolulu's rail project has to meet certain specifications, or Uncle Sam may ask for his money back.
That is part of the deal the city struck to get $1.55 billion from the feds. KITV4's Andrew Pruer joining us now with the story, all new at 6. Andrew.
Well, Yunji and Paul, the city has very little wiggle room when it comes to the number of rail stations it must build and how long the elevated rail line must travel.
Those signatures are binding. When the city and the Honolulu Authority for Rapid Transportation signed a full funding grant agreement in December 2012, it meant the federal government would provide $1.55 billion for elevated rail. But it also meant the city is obligated to build a system agreed upon by the feds. Former anti-rail mayoral candidate and UH civil engineer Panos Privadoros is familiar with such contracts.
So, for example, a system Kapolei to Pearl City is not going to cut it. It's a complete waste of time and money because nobody's really commuting that distance.
Under the agreement, HART must build an elevated rail line that's 20 miles long, features 21 stations, and has 80 rail cars. Any effort to decrease the number of stations, length of the rail line, or number of rail cars to save money could result in the FTA asking for the return of $1.55 billion or some portion of the federal grant. HART must also begin accepting passengers by the revenue service date of January 31st, 2020, or risk the same possible penalty.
There is a number of things that they can do, and at some point they might say, you know, the deal is completely off. You can go ahead and do the system that you wish to do, but federal funding is off the table.
To be clear, the Transit Authority has not proposed scaling back the number of stations or the length of the route and says the rail line will open on time. However, the rail project is facing a cost overrun as much as $910 million now that the city is insisting $210 million in bus funds remains off limits. Today, Council Chairman Ernie Martin introduced a resolution that would do just that. Now is the time to reassure the public that continued construction of the rail project will not jeopardize the existing level of bus and handy van service, Martin said in a statement to KITV4. If the council approves the resolution, the FTA will insist the $210 million in bus funds be replaced.
They don't care how. It's a city project. Find a way.
Mayor Kirk Caldwell has always said no to federal bus funds being used for rail, and on Monday asked state lawmakers to lift the sunset date on the 0.5% rail tax. The mayor said the booming construction market is largely to blame.
We are pushed from a very soft, no construction market into an extremely hot, red-hot construction market.
If Caldwell's argument sounds familiar, it is. It's nearly identical to the argument used by former Honolulu Mayor Mufi Hannemann in 2006, when the cost of the proposed rail line jumped from $3 billion to $3.6 billion.
And it's just the fact of the cost of doing business, the engineering, the construction work, and all that has to occur.
HART issued a statement to KITV4 saying, "We will continue to work closely with our partners at the Federal Transit Administration on completion of the Honolulu Rail project as outlined in the full funding grant agreement."